Hello, welcome back to my channel. Okay, today I want to talk about the direct art grouping, speaker grouping. Recently I just bought the license from Direct Art for my Denon 6800. So I got it, I bought the package, the 799 US art, but I got a Black Friday discount of 20%. So I already got a license. I did calibration on all my speakers, and I saved 3 slot, which is the room correction on the 3rd slot, the bass control on the 2nd slot, and the direct art on the 1st slot. So as you can see that I also have also calibrated and saved. I've done the A1 Evo acoustic, which is a very good calibration tool, and then I also have the A1 Evo Express, which is currently inside my preset 1 to compare with Dirac 1 on preset 2. I also save all my Dirac live project in one folder, right? So without any delay, let's go into Dirac. Okay, it detected my Denon, so let's click on Denon. So it's now connecting to my A1, so just dismiss this, and then yeah, it's connected to my Denon. So I'm having a Denon ABC X6800H 7.4.6 system. The 4 subwoofer is the SB3000. It's a seal sub, and I have 6 Atmos, front heights, top, middle, and rear heights. Right, as you can see, I already have 3 slots. Direct art P5 means that I increase the bass frequency to 5 decibel. This is the direct bass control on the 2nd slot, PC, and the direct live room correction, right, the room correction on the 3rd slot. Okay, let's load the project. So I have saved a few, so let's load the project. So let's look at this, the direct art. Okay, it's already inside my direct art. As you can see, I'm now in art. I got direct live, bass management, bass control. So this is my first group. This is my front and left. So previously it was like this. So after being corrected, it's now very nice. This is supported by the bass. So let's look at the group. Okay, this is the default setup by Direct Live. I did not alter anything. I did not custom made anything. So group 3 is actually supporting group 3, and of course group 1 group 2 is the center speaker, group 1 is the main speaker. So group 3 is the surround, left and right. On top of that, also is being supported by the subwoofer, right? It's being supported by subwoofer. Actually, I went to, I think I watched a YouTube channel. There was an interview on the engineer. My main speaker actually can go down to 35 Hz, so I actually can put my app support low to 40 Hz, but I just leave it by Direct to actually choose the default and see how it sounds, and it sounds great, so I just leave it at this one. The problem is why Direct Art chose group 1 and group 3 support, right? So I went through Google AI and I just want to know why is that so. So I captured some notes from Google. Right, so let's go up. Okay, so relationship between group 1 and group 3, right? So group 1 can support. So group 1 can be supported by group 3 surround, primarily for mid-base smoothing, model decay reduction, low frequency reinforcement if surrounds extend low enough. So group 3 surround can be supported by group 1 mains for improving clarity, mitigating room noise, stabilizing spatial imaging. If you enable group 3 surround to support group 1 mains, surround emits invisibly compensating signal. They can counteract model peaks dips created by the mains. This tighten the bass, reduce ringing and sitting position, all without perceptually changing the soundstage. If you do the reverse, group 1 supports group 3 mains. Mains admits very low frequency correction for the surround. Helpful when surrounds have small drivers or limited low ends. So this is why Diract Live selected this group 1 to also be supported by group 3. Group 3 is actually the surround left and right. Right, so this is what I have gathered, the reason why Art actually group this together from the Google AI. Right, so that is about group 1. Okay, group 1. Then let's go to group 2. Group 2 is the center speaker. So far it doesn't group to any other groups except for the subwoofer, right? So this is group 2. Actually is supporting is also supporting group 3, right? Group 2 is supporting group 3. They mean together with the surround left and right. So this is what and I don't know why it actually don't allow me to untick this, right? It's been grayed out, right? So I think it doesn't I think it's the same thing as the group 1, the main speaker. The center speaker is being supported by group 3, the sound. I think that is the same reason, right? So that is about group 2 supported by group 3. So let's go to group 3. So group 3 is actually supported by group 4, which is the surround back right and surround back left is being grouped together, and then of course it's also being supported by the subwoofer. I think this is to help out the low frequency. But then why group 3 is actually needed the support from group 4? So let's find out from Google. Alright, so how Art uses group 3 to group 4 support. If you enable group 3 support to group 4, your left surround, right surround can emit low frequency correctively energy to help stabilize back surround noise, model reflection behind the sitting position, bass decay time at the rear of the room, effectively mostly below 150 to 300 Hz. The exact limit depends on the speaker capability and diffusion limit. How Art use group 4 to support group 3. If you allow group 4 supports group 3, the back left surround, the right and speaker can assist in the side surrounds in filling low frequency dips near the side walls, smoothing seat to seat variation behind the main listening area, compensating for modest energy that group 3 cannot fully fix alone. Again, Art ultimately enforce frequency range where this remains non-localizable. These relationships are configured and ART will ultimately manage frequency and timing to keep correction non-audible. Alright, so this is about the group 3 supports group 2. Okay, so that is about that group. So let's go back to Diract and let's go to group 4. Right, group 4. Okay, same thing, it's set up to 50 Hz, 150 for the support high. This is defaulted by Dirac Art when I did the calibration, but then it's also supporting group, it was supported by group 5. Group 5 is actually the front height. So the surround back is being supported by the front height, right? And of course it also was supported by the subwoofer for the frequency. So why Dirac choose this group to support group 4? So let's find out. Right, so group 4 supports group 5. Okay, rear surrounds can emit low frequency non-localizable correction energy to help reduce low frequency, right, for support group 5. Stabilize decay time in the front of the room. Encounter model ringing that high speakers cannot correct alone. High speakers usually have weaker low end capability. This supports mostly effective below 150 to 200 Hz. Okay, then group 5 supports to group 4. Vice versa, the front heights can give limited low LF assistance to the rear channels, but only if the heights have adequate attention. The room geometry allows beneficial overlap. Your limit frequency supports downwards. Dirac Auto limit this. Most height speakers roll off early, so support is usually constrained. So how Dirac Art manage this automatically? When you define group 4 or group 5 support together, Art restricted correction to non-localizable frequency. Art prevent audible pulling of sound towards the heights. Art avoid phase issues between vertical and horizontal planes. Art uses timing compression to keep the support energy perceptually invisible, so you don't need to do this, right? So this is how group 4 and group 5 as mentioned in the AI from Google on how art works, which is actually being default by art on my grouping on my speakers. So that is why group 4 and group 5 are being grouped. So that's the reason. Right, so let's go down to group 5. Okay, group 5, the funny thing is that group 5 has been supported by group 7, and group 7 is actually the rear heights. So the front heights is being supported by rear heights. This is what Art have selected. Right, so let's go. Okay, and of course we also have the subwoofer group, which is supporting the lower bass for group 5. Right, so indirectly I think every group is supported by the subwoofer. So although it was set up to standard, but indirectly actually it's all being set up as directional. There's no need directional, because whenever this speaker there's an effect coming into group 5, group 6, the bass the bass group of all the subwoofer will actually support, but it's also being supported by group 7. So why is it supported by group 7? Group 7 is actually the rear heights, and the front heights are being supported by the rear heights. So let's find out. Right, so okay, so how this support works in practical. Group 5 supports group 7, front height supporting rear heights. Useful when your front heights have stronger bass ascension than your rear heights. Front heights can assist in stabilizing low frequency noise in the rear height channel, reducing model ringing at the upper rear ceiling area, improving height layer, informativity across the listening area. This supports is limited to non-localizable frequency, usually below 120 to 200 depending on your height speakers. Group 7 support vice versa. Rear heights can help front heights by providing additional low frequency energy, improving decay times in the front height region, smoothing height layers reflection across the top of the room. This also remains limited to low frequency, non-localizable content below 150 to 200 Hz. So how Diract Auto manage this relationship? ART automatically restricts support to safe frequency range, prevent vertical localization, sound being pulled upwards, keep arrival times inaudible, avoid phase conflict between front and rear ceiling speakers, so you don't have to calculate, right? So this is how the AI actually give you this information on why Diract actually choose group 5 be supported by group 7 front height supporting rear heights, right? So that is about group 5. So let's go to group 6, right? Group 6 is my top middle. So top middle is not being supported by anyone, right? But it's only being supported by the low frequency group, the subwoofer, right? So that is what Diract have selected. I leave it as default. And then let's go to group 7. So group 7 is actually the rear heights, but the one that is helping the rear heights is group 7. Group 6, sorry. Group 6, which is the top middle. So why did ART actually select this group to help to support group 7? Of course, this is generic. Every subwoofer is supporting every group, right, for the low frequency, which is logical. But then group 6 is supporting group 7. So let's see what he has to say. Right, so okay, group 6 supporting group 7, right? So the top middle supporting rear heights. This is most common and more effective direction. Top middle left right can stabilize low frequency noise in the rear heights channel. That's why he Diract actually selected this top middle left and right group to support the rear heights, right? So model ringing around the back half of the ceiling, low frequency decay, inconsistency between middle and rear height speakers, bass in the upper bass, uniformity across the rear heights region, right? Because the top middle is basically between the front and the rear ceiling. Okay, it is very effective in providing smooth low frequency correction. Effective frequency 120 to 200 Hz depending on the speaker capability. Group 7, so vice versa. If you want to decide group 7 to support group 6 supported by group 6, vice versa. So rear heights can assist with filling low frequency gap between the height layer, reducing decay times behind the main seats, balancing top middle coverage in large room. Again, limited to non-localization. So how control this? ART automatically restrict support of the non-localizable frequency band, applies phase safe timing to avoid comb filtering, ensure support signal are inaudible and directionless, limits height to height support to frequency where spatial clues are minimum, prevent ghost voice or pulling sound image upwards, right? So that is about this group. Why ART selected this group 6 to support this group 7. So these are the reasons in the AI Google telling you clearly why ART is doing that, right? So last of all, I think one of the topic that we want to talk about is the group 8, which is a subwoofer. I have 4 subwoofer. all these SB 3000 from SBS. So this is the curve that I have. This is without the infra. Alright, if you click the infra, I think there is a cut off from the 20 Hertz onwards, going down low. So you don't have the infra, but if you on the infra, let me go to the picture that I have. I already snapshot one of the picture. Right, so this is the one. Right, so as you can see that if I on the infra, this is the target curve that is giving me the corrected one. So there was a dip in this I think 40 Hertz, right? But then I got this infra sound, but it already roll off very early, so I'm losing a lot of here, which I find it awkward. So do you actually click the infra, or would you actually remain at not clicking the infra base, right? And you get this type of linear pattern, but you are not. I don't know why there's no the infra, the below 20 Hertz you are not getting. So let's find out from Google AI and asking them and feeding them my room size, what is my speaker, my SBS speaker, and see what AI have to say. Right, so AI, okay, so why there is a dip in the 20 Hertz when you did not on the infra? So room gain stops at 25 to 30 Hertz. Most small medium room naturally boost low bass, but only down to certain limits. Below 25 to 30 Hertz, the room no longer pressurized efficiently, so output starts dropping. Result a natural roll off starting around 20 to 25 Hertz. So this is the one cause. So that's why if you don't on the infra, it's such a the roll off at 20 to 25. Subwoofer native red off roll off. Every subwoofer has a turning point. Seal sub gradually roll off at 18 to 25. Ported steep roll off between ported tune, usually 20 to 25 Hertz. Small sub begin to roll off even earlier. So Dirac cannot boost extremely low frequency too much, especially if unsafe. Dirac Art protects the sub from over extreme boost, dim remain. So Dirac Art infra bass mode uses all speaker down low in infra bass. Subwoofer and main speaker surround can support deep bass, but most main speaker cannot produce 20 Hertz, which is true. Mine only can actually produce right up to 35 Hertz. So if I put infra, the main speaker, the surround, I think they are not supporting the subwoofer because they cannot go down to below 20 Hertz to get the infra bass. So system level roll off instead of sub only roll off. So the whole system will roll off, but not the sub, instead of the sub. So with mine 4 SV3000 in 5 meter, I have length in my home theater is about 5 meter long, it's about 3 meter wide and 3 meter tall ceiling. You actually should have very strong output at 20 Hertz. So if you still seeing a dip, it's come from the room physics plus direct art behavior, not lack of subwoofer power. So how can you improve and fix the dip? Switch art from infrared to bass control, focus only on subs. If your version of Dirac Art lets you do this, do not let art send 20 to 30 Hz to speaker that it can't reproduce it. That means I cannot put them in a group because none of my speaker can actually perform below even than 30 Hz. Right? This alone only fix in 5 to 8 dB drop at 20 Hz. So when you do that, there will be a 5 to 8 dB drop at 20 Hz. Huge improvement. Alright, so stack up stuff max room gain. Your room is small, corner helps most of the 1830 Hz. Best layout, double stack front and left and the back right corner. Most infra-based gain, the most infra-based gain is this. So 4 corners placement, front corners and rear corners. That gives strongest pressurized down low. So if you put all the corner, it really will pressurize your room. Increase sub gain to 4 to 6 decibel before running art. So I think when you level up, the subwoofer on the measurement, I think it should be more than 4.6 dB, right? That gives out more headroom for the deepest frequency. So this is one tip that we have when we take measurement with RW before and after Diract. Direct smoothing can exaggerate dips. Why infra-bass on is not an ideal for my system? Infra-bass sends deep bass 20 to 40 Hz to all speakers if I switch it on. This includes front left, right, which doesn't go down, surrounds, height and possible center. Totally cannot. So I think infra-bass will send all this, but they cannot go down below than 20 Hz. So these speakers cannot produce real 20 to 30 Hz. So Diract art reduce. So Diract art, what does he do? He reduce deep bass energy. So avoid boosting your subs too much. Averagely the low output of your speaker with your subs. So result on space deep in 20 to 30 Hz. So that's why there was a dip and there was a dip here. 20 started off already, right? So this is one of it. Why? Okay, so your room 5 times 3 cm has no model supports below 34 Hz. 20 to 30 Hz is already weak naturally. Infra-bass makes it weaker by distributing the energy. So with 4 SB3000 you already have massive infrasonic capability. You don't need art to extend the bass using speakers. Your subs array alone can pressurize the room better than speakers ever can. Stay cleaner at very low frequency. Produce more output than art allowed speaker to contribute. Letting sub handle bass alone is a better extension, is equal to better extension, right? So art protection logic reduce subwoofer boost at 20 Hz. With infra-bass on, art tries to protect your speaker, so it limits how hard it drives the sub at the very bottom. 20 Hz dip become more obvious. So if you on the infra-bass, if you on the 20 Hz dip will become more obvious. Why infra-bass off is better for your system? Subwoofer handles all deep bass. No energy is wasted sending from 20 to 30 Hz to speakers that cannot reproduce it. Sub arrays work at full power, right? You get 4 sub coupling in the infrasonic range. No averaging with speaker. You remove the speaker, dragging down the sub bass problem, right? So sub will be on its own to perform better. Best pressure build up in a small room. The subs can actually pressurize the room, your speaker can't. So final recommendation, Diract art on and infra-bass off. That was recommended by the AI in the computer after I'm giving my input to them. So this gives you the best low frequency extension, the strongest 20 to 30 Hz, the cleanest transient bass, no infra-bass dip, full subwoofer authority. With 4 subwoofer SB1000 in a small 5x3, this is the correct setup. So yeah, so that is the reason why I do not want to actually on the infra. Alright, so I let the subwoofer do its thing. And for this, I wanted to actually improve the 40 dB, but I did a very weird curve line over here just to improve this. So this is what I have done, right? So this is the frequency, okay, before. After that being corrected is this, and then this is the target curve that I slightly, you know, or created so called created, just to improve this. So end of the day is just to get everything you know, level down, and it needs to roll off at a high bass. Alright, it go off very smoothly. If it needs to roll off at the low bass, it roll off smoothly. Try to get as smooth as possible. So yeah, so this is my video about this grouping, the art grouping. I'm still learning. I try to experiment, see what else I can do with this art calibration, direct art, and the grouping. But totally game changer, as if you know that I have two center speaker. I got a few speaker with super tweeter. I'm very worried that when I take my calibration, it will actually clip, but thankfully it went through the calibration without any of the speaker giving any errors or clipping. Even the center channel, with two center channel, one at the top of the TV, one at the bottom, it still captured the measurement, and then it actually helped out. So let's go back to my center, which I'm always worried that the measurement could not capture, maybe confused. I will be confused because I got two center channel. So this is the center channel. Alright, so this is the before. Alright, so this is the before. Alright, it's actually two center channel, but after being corrected, yeah, this is the one. And then target curve, I did increase 1.5 because I have a super tweeter, as you can see over here. And then it did improve here, and then my bass is here, so I increased by 5 the bass. I'm not worried because it was supported by a subwoofer, right? So yeah, so that is my center. So with that, thank you so much. Hopefully my video will help, or if you have any comment on how should I improve on my grouping, maybe you can leave a comment. With that, thank you so much. See you in the next video.